Exploring Gombaeryeong in full autumn foliage, November access restriction and reservation information. Nestled in the heart of Gangwon-do, Korea, the Gombaeryeong section of Mount Jeonbong is often referred to as the Garden of Heaven. With autumn in full swing, the foliage is at its peak, making this the perfect time for a visit. The harmonious blend of the brightly colored leaves and the gentle sound of flowing streams provides both physical and mental rejuvenation. Autumn is here, and the season for enjoying the fall foliage is now. Visitors planning to hike Gombaeryeong should note that access is restricted starting November 1st. To secure a visit before the closure, reservations are mandatory. Although by this time in previous years, the foliage would have been more vibrant, the leaves in 2024 have been slower to change. As I drove deeper into the mountains of Inje, the autumn hues weren't fully apparent, but by the time I reached the parking lot, it was clear Gombaeryeong had finally entered the fall season. Hiking at Gombaeryeong requires a reservation, due to its designation as a Forest Genetic Resource Reserve. Only 450 visitors are allowed on weekdays, and 690 on weekends. Reservations are on a first-come, first-served basis, and can be made through the website. The fall hiking season ends on October 31st. From November 1st, access will be restricted due to fire prevention measures, with winter hiking resuming on December 16th. Reservations open exactly 4 weeks before the desired hiking date, at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, and are limited to 2 people per booking. If you're planning to hike with a larger group, each person will need to make separate reservations. At the time of writing, only a few weekday and weekend slots remain available due to cancellations, so your best chance is to keep an eye out for any new openings. Once your reservation is confirmed and ID checks are completed, the hike begins. The Gombaeryeong Forest Eco-Exploration Trail spans 5.1 kilometers one way, with a round trip totaling 10.2 kilometers. While it's not an overly difficult course, proper hiking gear is recommended due to its length. The hike begins at 9 a.m., and hikers are required to begin descending from the peak by 2 p.m. and complete the descent by 4 p.m. The deciduous forest is starting to blush with vibrant reds and oranges, and October 12th marked the early stages of the foliage. By now, you should be able to enjoy even more intense colors along the trail. The first 2 kilometers of the hike are relatively flat, leading through a peaceful, healing forest of fir trees. At the halfway point, a small unattended stall offers visitors omija tea and coffee, both cooled with floating ice and garnished with autumn leaves, adding a touch of local charm. It's hard to resist grabbing a drink, just 3,001. Gombaeryeong Village, which you'll pass along the way, is the only facility along the trail with restrooms and snacks like jeon, dotori muk, acorn jelly, and instant noodles. You can also grab a refreshing glass of makgeolli on the way back. As you continue hiking, you'll cross several bridges over streams, which provide a soothing backdrop of flowing water. The last kilometer of the trail features a steep, rocky section that may require a bit more effort, but the reward at the peak is well worth it. After a final push up the aptly named Gasping Hills staircase, the summit opens up to a breathtaking, unobstructed view of the sky and the surrounding mountains. On a clear day, you can even see all the way to Seoraksan's Daecheongbong Peak. It's a thrilling and satisfying moment for every hiker, especially on such a beautiful autumn day. The summit area features a spacious rest stop where hikers can relax and enjoy their packed lunches. Most people gather around the iconic Gombaeryeong sign for a photo, but be prepared to wait. On the day I visited, the line to take a picture with the sign grew to 30 minutes. The hike up took about 2 hours, and the descent brought with it different perspectives of the same trail. By the time I made my way down, it seemed as though the foliage had deepened even more within just a few hours. The leaves were more vibrant, and I couldn't resist capturing some final shots of the colorful scenery. This visit to Gombaeryeong was an unforgettable experience, with the autumn foliage just beginning to show its full beauty. As we approach the peak season, this coming weekend and the final week of October are expected to be the best times to witness the fall colors at their finest. For those planning a visit, remember that access will be restricted from November 1st through December 15th due to fire prevention measures. Afterward, winter hiking will begin. The fall foliage is breathtaking, and I hope everyone gets a chance to enjoy the last days of autumn at this magical spot.